Hello the universe and welcome to Agricola Beach. Ayan, good morning everyone. Annyeonghaseyo. Ayan, so again, I'm going to discuss about indifference curve po. Kasi sabi nila, lumabas na ito sa board exam like it's 7 items in LEA 2024. So siguro po hindi niya lang napansin kasi nga walang word na indifference curve, no? So, kung meron man, siguro iilan lang. Pero some of the statements po kasi hindi na kailangan ng word na indifference curve as long as it is pag i-analyze mo kasi siya, it's still under po ng indifference curve. Kung ganun po siya, yung mapapansin ninyo. Okay? So, that's according to them. Okay? So, always remember pag indifference curve, no, in economics. Okay. So, ito po ay actually kasama po sa tinatawag natin na theory or belong po siya sa theory of consumer behavior. Okay? Theory of consumer behavior. Okay, so kasama po itong indifference curve doon sa consumer theory of consumer behavior. Isa ito sa mga topic ng theory of consumer behavior. Actually, na-discuss na din namin to. Okay, diniscuss talaga to ni sir kasi sabi ko sa kanya importante talaga to itong theory of consumer behavior. So kabilang na doon yung indifference curve. So let us define first what is indifference curve. Pag sinabing indifference curve, it is a fundamental concept. Pag sinabing fundamental concept, ibig sabihin mahalagang konsepto po yan sa microeconomics. Kasi po particularly in the study of consumer behavior, kasi nga indifference curve po kasi it represents graphical illustration. Okay? It represents graphical illustrations of different combinations of two goods. Always remember that is referring to two goods. Okay? Different combinations of two goods. So hindi siya nag-iisa, kundi different combinations of two goods or services po yan. Okay, hindi lang goods but also services that provide the consumer with the same level of satisfaction or utility. So, ano ibig sabihin yan, no? Yun, so ang indifference curve po ay tumutukoy sa graphicong representation po siya ng iba't ibang kombinasyon ng dalawang produkto o serbisyo po na nagbibigay po ng parehas na antas or level ba ng kasiyahan or satisfactions or utility sa isang consumer. Okay? Para po yun ma-reach yung satisfaction nila. Yun. So okay, so there's actually two concepts. I mean key concepts po of indifference curve. Merong dalawang key concepts of indifference curve. So ano yun? Okay? So the first key concept of indifference curve is also known as utility. Okay? Ito yung dapat mong tandaan pagdating sa indifference curve para hindi mo makalimutan. Utility and consumer choice. Okay? So, ano ibig sabihin nito? Pag sinabing utility and consumer choice, kasi yung pinaka-aim kasi ng consumer is to maximize, right? To maximize. Yan ang pinaka-aim talaga ng consumers. To maximize their utility or satisfaction po. So, kasi, bakit ganun to maximize their utility or satisfaction, no? Kasi, yun ang pinaka-aim nila. Okay? Or naglalayong sila na makamit ang pinakamataas na kasiyahan or utility po. Okay? Na, kasi meron po kasing tinatawag na budget constraints. Okay, budget constraints sa indifference curve, no? Syempre ikaw, 'di ba, if you want to be happy, shalalala. It's so nice to be happy, shalalala. Ganun. So yun guys, if you want to be happy, of course you need money. Kasi nga sabi nga nila, in order to reach your satisfaction, no, and reach your satisfaction and utility, okay, you need a budget. Okay, so ito po yung minimin ng indifference curve, no? Maximize, mini-maximize yung utility at saka satisfaction kasi there is a budget constraints. Okay? there is a budget constraints. So this is other utility and consumer choice. Okay? So meaning ang indifference curve po siya ginagamit po upang masuri natin ang mga pagpipilian ng consumer kapag dalawang produkto ang pinag-uusapan, no, in the two good scenario, no, ina-analyze or pinipili ng mabuti kung alin doon yung gusto talaga nila, and that satisfy them. Example, no, gusto mo ng dalawang burger at isang milk tea, or tatlong burger or isang milk tea, ganun. You satisfy with that, no, or isang burger ba or dalawang milk tea, depende sa gusto mo, as long as you satisfy or you maximize your satisfaction at the same time, no, under budget constraints. Okay, so number two key concepts of indifference curve. So we have also what we call yung definition talaga. Okay, the definition of indifference curve. So indifference curve po kasi ay the indifference curve, yung pinaka common talaga na definition ng indifference curve po is locus of points. It is also known as locus of points. Okay? Ito yung tandaan ninyo para hindi kayo malito. Okay? Locus of points. Ito yung pinaka-common or well-known niya na definition. Okay? Locus of points. So this one, utility and consumer choice. And this one is locus of points. Okay? So pag sinabing yun, sa indifference curve po is a locus of points na nagre-represent po siya ng different bundles of two goods. Okay, different bundles of two goods ha. For example, different bundles po ng of two goods po na nag-yield po siya ng same level of satisfaction to the consumers. Okay? Example ha, ang consumer maybe equally satisfied sila with, let's say, 3 units of good A and 2 units of good B. So satisfied na sila doon, and then 2 units of good A and then 4 units of good B, and that's already satisfied na sila doon. So depende yan sa tao kung hanggang saan yung satisfaction niya. Okay? So basta tandaan ninyo na ang indifference curve ay isang linya, kasi pag sinabing locus of points po, linya na nagko-connecta sa mga puntos, no? Connecting points ba? It's a line that connecting points. Okay? Yun yung ibig sabihin ng locus. Hindi yung locus na pusit ha. Iba po yung locus na pusit. Locus sa Bisaya yun, locus, nukus. Nukus pala yun, nukus. Ayan, so yun, again, pag sabing locus of points, ito yung line na nagko-connect sa mga puntos na nagpapakita po ng iba't ibang kombinasyon ng dalawang produkto at saka nagbibigay ng parehong kasiyahan sa consumer. Okay? So, there's actually characteristics of indifference curve, no? There are actually 4 characteristics to know. Okay? So, always remember that, okay, so 4 characteristics, we have number 1 is downward sloping. Okay, always remember that it is downward sloping. Downward sloping. So, pag hindi pa kayo nakakaintindi, pag sinabing downward sloping or pababa ang daloy. Okay? Pababa ang daloy. So, paano ang sloping niyan? So, parang ganito ang curve niya. Okay, so this is the graph. So, parang ganito. Ganyan. 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 So, it is a downward sloping. Okay? So, the curve slopes downward po because if the quantity, okay, always remember, bumababa po kasi yung slopes niya ng curve kasi po, if the quantity of one good, okay, if the quantity po or quantity of one good, let's say quantity of good A, okay, of good A ay bumaba, okay, or quantity of, ayan, so quantity, if the quantity of one good decreases, so the consumer, so yung consumer ngayon must receive more of the other good, no, to maintain the same utility levels. Ibig sabihin, pag bumaba yung pangangailangan niya or yung satisfaction niya sa good A, Okay, so sa good A, so ibig sabihin dapat yung good B, okay, dapat yung quantity ng good B ay mataas. Okay? Kasi para po ma-reach yung satisfaction ng isang consumer. Okay? So yan ang dapat nating tandaan. Okay? So the consumer must receive po more of the other goods. Ito na yun kasi nga bumaba itong good A. Okay? Mas receive yung isa, dapat mas marami na re-receive yung good B kasi nga mababa yung good A. Okay? So dapat tandaan natin yan. Ano nga ulit yung downward sloping? Downward sloping, ito yung pababa ang kurba o yung pababa ang daloy ng curve, no? Dahil kapag nabawasan ang dami ng isang produkto, ito na yung good A, no, kailangan madagdagan ang dami ng kabilang produkto. O, yan. Yung good B na madami. So, upang mapanatili po ang parehong antas ng kasiyahan o yung satisfaction. So, pag may ganito guys, ibig sabihin may nangyayaring, anong nangyayari dito? May nangyayaring trade-off. Right? May nangyayaring trade-off. Kasi, pag konti ang sa kabila ay dadami. Pag madami ang sa kabila ay konti. Okay? So, we have trade-off. Okay? Trade-off. So, yan. Okay? So, this actually reflects the trade-off, no? Between the two goods. So, pinapakita dito na nagkakaroon ng trade-offs po or pagpapalitan ng dalawang produkto. Okay? So, number 2 characteristic is number 2 characteristics is convex. Yun. Convex. Okay? To the origin. Okay? Convex to the origin. So, ano ibig sabihin ng convex to the origin? Pag sinabing convex to the origin, alam niyo siguro yung concave tsaka convex, right? Pag sinabing convex, ito po yung indifference curves are typically po convex to the origin due to the principle of dahil po sa principle of diminishing marginal rate. Okay? Dahil po sa sa principle na diminishing, okay? Dahil sa principle na diminishing marginal rate of substitution. Okay? Substitution. Or also known as MRS. Okay, yeah. Yeah. So, marginal rate of substitution. So, ano nga ba yung convex, by the way? Ano nga ba ibig sabihin ng convex? Baka hindi pa nyo alam ano yung convex. Pag sinabi pong convex po yan, sa Tagalog pa, ito yung pa-kurba ba? Kurba ay, ano yun eh? Papasok yung kurba ba? Example ito. Example, wait lang. Change natin yung pen color para mas maintindihan. Okay. Ito, so this one. Here, di ba? This is the graph. Okay, this is the graph. So, ano nga ba ibig sabihin ng convex? Paloob. Diba? Paloob. So, paloob papasok pala yung curve niya. So, pag ganito siya papasok, and then pa ganyan. Okay? Papasok. Ganyan. Ganyan. So, that's a convex. Kasi ang concave, pag ganito, ang concave. Okay? Palabas. Okay? That's a concave. Palabas yun. Ang convex is papasok. Okay? Meron yan sa mga mirror. Yung sa magdadrive ka. Yun. So, dahil po sa diminishing marginal of substitution, kaya po nagiging convex or baluktot po yung curve ng indifference. Okay? Indifference curve. So, again, MRS or also known as marginal rate of substitution. Okay? Marginal rate of substitution. Ito po yung rate, this is actually the rate at which a consumer is willing to substitute. Okay? Yung consumers is meron silang willingness, okay? Meron silang willingness to substitute. Okay? Willingness to substitute. Ayan. Ayan. Willingness to substitute one good for another, no, while keeping the same level of utility. Okay? So, as the consumer po substitutes one good for another, no, the willingness to substitute diminishes. Ano ibig sabihin nun? Okay, explain ni sir sa inyo in Tagalog term. Okay? Kasi alam ko nalilito kayo eh. Ang MRS po, okay, or marginal rate of substitution, okay, ay isang rate po siya kung saan po handang ipagpalit ng consumer, okay, handa ng consumer ipagpalit ang isang produkto, okay, para sa iba habang pong nanatili pareho yung kasiyahan or satisfaction niya. Nagigets mo? Example, ganito. May jowa ka, okay, jowa ka dito, jowa 1, okay, may jowa 1 ka, tapos may manliligaw ka, okay, may manliligaw ka, so mahulog mo na yan na jowa 2 kasi cheater ka man, di ba? Example lang. So ngayon, you are going to parang meron kang willingness, no, to substitute kasi nga siguro nag-cold ka na and then hindi mo na na-feel kay jowa 1 yung pagmamahal. Ayun. So so ngayon, there's a willingness already to substitute, di ba? So pagpalit, no, ipagpalit mo yung isang produkto sa iba kasi gusto mo na manatili yung parehos ba na satisfaction, yung manatili yung feel na, yung love na nafe-feel mo. So in order to get that, and also you get, kasi syempre bawat tao naman kasi naghanap ng peace of mind and then someone that can elevate their mood and also inspire them or motivate them, char. Di ba, alam ko naman naghanap kayo yung mga taong naiintindihan kayo. And at the same time, hindi na sa naiintindihan kayo, but also to motivate and inspire you every day, di ba? Charot, yung may good morning love, good morning babe, sana all. Yun, so, ganun guys, no? Parang ganun po yung ibig sabihin na itong convex to the origin, okay? So, yun, gusto mo yung parang ayaw mo talaga mawala yung yung nafe-feel mo na kasiyahan. Syempre, punta ka ngayon kay jowa 2, okay? Kasi nga si jowa 2 ang nagbibigay na nun kaysa kay jowa 1. Parang si jowa 1 parang naglaylo na siya ba? Sa Bisaya it's laylo, sa Tagalog pa parang nawawala na ng gana, gano'n. So, siguro busy talaga si J1 kaya walang time. So, si J2 ngayon ang pumalit. Ganun ba? So, you are willing to sacrifice si jowa 1, substitute kay jowa 2 para lang ma-reach or manatili yung level of satisfaction mo. Okay? So, ganun yun po ang ibig sabihin ng convex to the origin. Under po siya ng indifference curve. Okay? Ngayon, naintindihan nyo na. Okay? Nakaka-relate kayo kasi ganyan naman din kayo. Kaya nga sabi ng mga friend ko, pag meron kang jowa, dapat meron ka daw ding manliligaw para ba in case na mag-away ka ng jowa mo, at least meron kang reserva. Sana all. Okay? So yun guys. Okay, now next we have number. Always remember yan ha. No, kapag patuloy na nagpapalit po ng produkto, example let's say ganito, si jowa 1, no, si jowa 1. Okay, tapos si jowa 2, tapos meron na namang bagong manliligaw. Example, ito, nawala na yung feelings mo, cold ka na, pero gusto mo pa rin manatili yung satisfaction ng feeling in love. Syempre, punta ka kay jowa 2, kasi nga si jowa yung manliligaw na to, ay nabibigay niya naman yung satisfaction ngayon. Hindi mo na nafe-feel sa kanya, so may bago na naman pumasok sa buhay mo. So, that's what we call jowa 3, no? Diba? Kaya kapag po kasi patuloy, or continue po yung nagpapalit ng produkto, continue ka po nagpapalit ng jowa, nagpapalit ng jowa, unti-unti po nababawasan yung kagustuhan na magpalit. Oo, kasi parang sa katagalan na ba ng example, ilang jowa ka na ba meron? Like sa ilang excess ka na ba meron sa buhay mo? So parang lagi kang nagpapalit. So parang minsan nafe-feel mo na ay parang nakakapagod na talaga magpalit pa ng palit. So parang gusto mo na, so nababawasan na po yung kagustuhan na magpalit. Kasi you satisfy already. Kasi nga yun nga, naghahanap ka ng the one mo. Charot. Yung ganun na. Nagets ninyo guys? No? Always remember that. Always remember this one na as the consumers po kasi substitute one good for another, no, yung willingness po kasi no to substitute diminishes. Kasi ibig sabihin ng diminishes ay unti-unting nawawala yung willingness to substitute, na willingness niya na magbago. Parang kasi tumatagal. Syempre naghahanap tayo ng the one natin which satisfied us. So parang nasa-satisfy na tayo na siya na, eto na talaga si J4 o si Jowa 4 kasi nafe-feel ko sa lahat sa kanya, and then pagod na din ako kasi kakahanap ng the one ko. So yun pong ibig sabihin na, okay? So parang ganun lang po siya. It has something to do with that. At least related po siya sa real life situation. Kasi alam ko naman dyan kayo magaling eh. Okay, so next we have number 3. Another characteristics po of indifference curve is number 3 characteristics is yung tinatawag na non-intersecting. Okay? Non-intersecting. Ano po ibig sabihin ng non-intersecting? Ibig sabihin, sige, kabila natin pala isulat kasi hindi pala dito kaya. Okay. Another characteristics is non-intersecting. So, ano ibig sabihin ng non-intersecting? Okay, ang ibig sabihin po kasi ng non-intersecting ay, eto na. Okay, ito na yung graph na nandito nakita ninyo. Di ba? Hindi siya nag-i-intersect. So, indifference curve po, for the same consumer, it will never intersect. Hindi po siya, ano ba ibig sabihin ng intersect? Ganito, okay? Yung cross ba, ganito, nagmi-meet. Okay, nagmi-meet. Intersection po ito. So, ito po yung naging intersection center niya. So, hindi po sila nagmi-meet or nag-i-intersect. Okay? Kasi po, bakit hindi sila intersect? It will never intersect. Because, each curve po kasi represents a distinct level of satisfaction, bawat curve. Okay? Paano ko nasabi? Ganun. Paano mo nasabi, sir? Example, ganito. So, let's make a graph here. Okay? So, ganyan. Ito ng graph. So, bawat isang curve na yan, meron yan distinct satisfaction. Okay? So, we have, okay. So, let's say we have, so again, sinabi niya kanina, no, kasi nga, bawat curve, each curve po represents a distinct level of satisfaction. Example, ito, utility 1. So, ito yung satisfaction niya. Okay? Ito naman, utility 2. Ito yung satisfaction niya. And utility 3, ito yung satisfaction niya. Depende yan. Okay? So, example, this is the good A. Okay? And this is the good B. Oh. So, example, ganyan. Mas madami kay good A compare kay good B. Ganyan. So, pag dito naman, mas madami, unti-unting dumadami kay good A. Unti lumiliit si good A kaysa kay good B. Ganon. So, there's a level of satisfaction ba? Okay. So, magkaiba po yun sila. Kaya nga, hindi siya intersect. Hindi sila intersect kasi nga, it is, again, never intersect. Always remember that. It will never intersect yung indifference curve. Yan po yung characteristics niya. Never intersect. Okay? So, again, intersecting po kasi curves would imply po kasi inconsistent preferences, which is not a rational term. Okay? Always remember that. Okay? So, again, ano ibig sabihin ng indifference curve ng consumer? Again, hindi siya nagkakapatong or hindi siya intersect. Okay? Dahil bawat kurba po kasi ay kumakatawan siya sa ibang antas ng kasiyahan. So, ang intersect po kasi na curves ay magdudulot po yun ng hindi siya logical or rational satisfaction. Yun. Okay? Pag nagkaroon ng intersection. Number 4, another characteristics. Okay, sabi ko kanina, they have 4 characteristics. Okay, number 4 characteristics is also known as higher curves represent higher utility. Okay, always remember that, ha? Higher curves, okay, or increase higher curves represents, okay, represents higher utility. Okay? So, bakit yan? Higher curves represents higher utility kasi a curve further from the origin represents a higher level of utility because po nag-indicate yan ng larger quantities of goods. Ito nga sinasabi ko sa inyo dito, di ba? Ganyan na kanilang curve, ganyan. Tapos dito siya yung origin niya and then tumataas ng tumatagal, tumataas yung quantity of goods, di ba? Kaya nga curves, pag tumataas ang curves, ito tumataas actually yung curves as you can see. Pag tumataas ang curves, tumataas din yung utility. So tumataas din po yung utility or pangangailangan. Okay? So yun pang ibig sabihin yan. Okay? So again, pag mas mataas na kurba, mas mataas ang utility. Kapag ang kurba ay mas malayo mula sa pinagmulan, ito ay nagpapakita ng mas mataas na antas ng utility. So, ang kasiyahan or kasiyahan dahil po mas maraming dami ng produkto ang nag-uugnay dito sa curve na to. Okay? This is the curve. So, hopefully you understand this, guys. Okay? So, after characteristics of indifference curve, we have also known as meron din tayong tinatawag na marginal rate of substitution. So, itong marginal rate of substitution. So, what I have said earlier, we have marginal rate of substitution. Okay? So, marginal rate of substitution or tinatawag na MRS. Okay? Marginal rate, dito na lang sa taas. So, we have marginal rate of substitution. Okay? So, the slope, yung slope po kasi ng MRS, the slope of the indifference curve at any point, okay, it representing the rate at which po kasi a consumer is willing to give up, okay, one good, sinabi ko kanina, diba, willing to give up one good for another while maintaining po the same level of satisfaction, diba, yun ang sinabi ko kanina. Okay, so again, ano nga ba ulit yung marginal rate of substitution? Ito yung slope or dalisdis ng indifference curve sa anumang punto. Kasi nga, ito ang rate kung saan handang ipagpalit ng consumer ang isang produkto para sa iba habang nanatili pareho ang kasiyahan or utility niya or satisfaction. Okay? Yung satisfaction, yung level of satisfaction po. Maintaining the same level of satisfaction. So, in order to get that, there's a formula in getting MRS. So again, ang ilalagay natin ito, MRS, slope of indifference curve po at any point. Okay? Nagre-represent po siya ng consumer. Yung consumer is willing, okay, willing to give up one good. Okay, give up one good. Okay. Give up one good for another. Yun. For another. Okay? So, while maintaining, syempre maintaining pa rin yung maintain natin yung maintaining the same level. Okay? The same level of satisfaction or kasiyahan. Yan. Satisfaction. Okay. So now, in order to get MRS or marginal rate of substitution, we need a formula. Okay? So, hindi ko alam guys kung lalabas ito sa exam, pero at least na-discuss ko ito sa inyo. So, we have marginal rate of substitution is equals to negative, we have change, sorry, may ibang term kasi kami ng change dito. Na lang gamitin natin. Change, this is a change po, ang term. Change in good Y, okay? Good Y divided by change in, may minus po yan dito or negative, sorry. Change in good X. Okay? Change in good X. So, this is the formula in getting the marginal rate of substitution. Okay? Pero hindi ko lang, parang hindi naman ito lalabas sa exam kasi iba yung lumabas sa exam na computation ngayon. Yun po yun yung price and quantity output, quantity, ilan yung quantity na ilalabas, ilan yung quantity ni good A, quantity demand, quantity supply, di ba? Price, meron po yan sa YouTube channel ko. O, lumabas po daw yan, sabi nila. So, I'm so happy for that. Okay, kasi lumabas po daw yung ganong computations. So, I'm so happy for that. Okay, so, I'm happy na, yun, nasagot ninyo. Okay, so, mga nakasagot. Ayun, so, the slope po kasi of the indifference curve at any point, it represents po the rate at which yung consumer is willing to give up one good for another. So, while ni-maintain nila ang the same level of satisfaction. So, ito po yung ibig sabihin nito. Okay? Diminishing marginal. Okay? This is diminishing marginal rate of substitution. Okay? Ano yung diminishing? Ano nga ulit yung diminishing rate, diminishing marginal rate of substitution? Yan po ay isang karaniwan, no? Habang patuloy na pinapalitan ang isang produkto ng isa pa, ayun, mas bumababa ng ang kahandaan ng consumers na magpalit. Kasi nga, again, pag sinabi mo yung, pag nakikita mo kasi yung word na diminishing po, kasi laging tandaan yan, no? Pag nakita mo yung word na diminishing, itong lagi ko din nilalagay sa isipan ko. Okay? Diminishing, unti-unting nawawala ang feelings niya sa'yo. Yun. Unti-unting nawawala. Yun. Unti-unting nawawala. So, diminishing yun. Unti-unting nawawala yung feelings niya sa'yo. So, unti-unti nawawala yung feelings niya hanggang sa, yun, mawala na siyang gana to magpalit na ng iba kasi satisfied na siya dun sa taong yun. 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 That's diminishing po. Okay? Pag sinabing marginal naman, laging tandaan ang word na marginal. Okay? Saan ka ba i-insert yung term? Okay. So, we have word na marginal. Tandaan ninyo. Pag sinabing marginal, it has something to do with additional. Okay? Additional. Ito yung mga keyword na kailangan yung tandaan. Additional. Okay? So, yan. Additional. So, that's marginal. Kaya nga, intawag siya na marginal. Okay? So now, let's analyze the indifference curve. Kasi there's also analysis on the indifference curve, no? Ano nga ba yung analysis of indifference curve? Number one, always remember, sinabi ko din kanina, di ba, na there will be no indifference curve kung walang budget constraints. So, dapat sa indifference curve, meron din po siyang tinatawag na budget constraints. Okay? Budget constraints. Yun ang pinaka-importante. Yung alam mo yung budget mo kung hanggang saan. Okay? Budget constraint. Kasi yung consumer, it face constraints po based on their income and the price of goods. Kasi nga, pag hindi kayo ng income nila, syempre, hindi naman po sila, hindi kayo ng budget, hindi naman po nila yung bibilhin. Diba? So, yan. So, the budget line shows po the combination of goods that a consumer can afford. No? So, that consumer can afford. Kasi may limitasyon po kasi ang consumer batay sa kanilang kita at presyo ng mga produkto. So, yung budget line po ay nagpapakita ng mga kombinasyon ng produkto na kayang bilhin ng consumer. Actually, we can also discuss about budget line, but for now, we'll have muna indifference curve, which is attached natin yung budget constraints or budget line. So, but we can discuss that separately. Pero under pa rin po yun siya ng theory of consumer behavior. Okay? So, I mean, the optimal consumption bundle po lies where the budget lines is tangent to the highest attainable indifference curve. So, ano ibig sabihin nun? So, ang pinakamainam na kombinasyon po ay matatagpuan kung saan ang budget line ay tumama. Okay? So, sa pinakamataas na maabot na indifference curve. Let's say, ganito. We have here, example, a graph like this. And then, hanggang dito lang yung budget line mo. Right? And then, yan yung curve mo ay tumama. Tumama yung curve mo doon sa budget line na to. Let's say, ganito. Biglang gumanon. Like, ganyan. Okay? That's the curve. So, meaning, tumama siya dito. Okay? Tumama po siya dito sa line na to. Okay? Tumama siya dito sa budget. This is the budget line. And then this is the indifference curve. Yan, tumama siya doon sa budget line mo. So, ibig sabihin, yan yung pinaka-optimal or pinaka-mainam na kombinasyon. Okay? Pinaka-mainam na combination. Okay? Na may matatagpuan mo kasi which is saan ang budget line ay tumama talaga siya sa pinakamataas na maabot na indifference curve. Okay? So, yun. So, example lang po yan ha. But I don't know really. Basta ganyan po yung ibig sabihin ng explanation na itong budget line. Okay? So, next also we have yun. So, that is budget, yung budget, no, yung limitations. And number 2, we have also yung consumer equilibrium. Okay? Number 2 is consumer equilibrium. Okay? Consumer equilibrium. So, ano yung ibig sabihin ng consumer equilibrium? Again, at equilibrium, no, yung slope of the indifference curve or the MRS po kasi equals the slope of the budget line, no, the price ratio of the two goods. Ano ibig sabihin nun? Sa equilibrium, ang slope po ng indifference curve or MRS ay katumbas po yun ng slope ng budget line. Okay? Ang indifference curve ay katumbas ng slope ng budget line, which is yung ratio po ng presyo ng dalawang produkto. So, paano yung kinukuha? Okay? So, this is the formula to get it. So, we have the P, okay, X, and then we have, or divided by, okay, divided by PY is equals to, sorry, PX divided by PY, and that's Y, sorry. Okay, that is equals to MRS. Okay? So, this one to get consumer equilibrium. So, kasi po, si PX and PY, they are the prices of good X at saka good Y. Okay? Good, prices of good X at saka prices of good Y. Okay? To get consumers equilibrium. Kasi po, again, ulitin ko, na ang slope ng indifference curve or MRS ay katumbas po yan ng slope ng budget line. Okay? Katumbas ng slope ng budget line. Okay? Now, let's proceed to the application of indifference curve. So, how to apply indifference curve. So, what is the applications of indifference curve? Always remember applications of indifference curves. Understanding consumer preference. Okay? Ano yan? Understanding, okay? Understanding. So, we have understanding consumer preference. Okay? Preference. So, now it's number 1. Okay? Understanding consumer preferences. Kasi po, it help businesses and policymakers understand how the consumers trade off, no, between goods and allocate their income. Kasi again, ano nga yan? Ano yung ibig sabihin ng understanding consumer consumer preference? Yan po ay pag-unawa sa kagustuhan ng consumer. Kasi po tumutulong ito sa mga negosyo at gumagawa ng polisiya. Kasi upang maunawaan kung paano nagpapalit ang mga consumer ng mga produkto at paano nila ginugugol ang kanilang kita. Okay? Number 2 naman is we have policy formulation. Okay? Policy formulation. Okay? So, pag sinabing policy formulation, yan po yung paggawa ng polisiya. Okay? So, yan, ginagamit ito sa pagsusuri ng epekto ng mga buwis. Yun. Epekto ng mga buwis, subsidies, yun, at pagbabago po ng presyo at pagbabago ng presyo sa welfare pa rin po ng mga consumers. Okay? Ano yung policy formulation? It is used in welfare economics, no, to measure the impact of subsidies, taxes, yun, or price changes on consumer welfare. So, number 3, that applications is also known as economic insights. Okay? Economic insights. So, ano ibig sabihin ng economic insights? Economic insights, mga pananaw po yan sa economics. No? Mahalaga ito sa pagbuo ng demand curve. Okay? Pagbuo ng demand curve at pagsusuri ng substitutions at income effects. Yun. So, again, useful po yan in deriving demand curves and also analyzing substitution and income effects. Okay? So, there's also a limitation po. Okay, always remember, meron din po tayong limitation of indifferent curves analysis. Tatlo lang naman yung limitation na yun na dapat yung tandaan. Okay, this one is application po. Okay, this one is application. And we have also limitation. So, ano nga ba ang limitation? Okay, limitations of indifference curve analysis. Number 1 is too good simplification. Di ba sinabi ko yan kanina? Too goods, right? Too good. Sinabi ko ito kanina, dito o sa baba. Okay, circle natin. Ito, too goods yan, or services. Yan. So, too goods simplification. Yan, simplification ang limitations of indifference curve analysis. Kasi, in real-life consumer behavior, they are often involves po more than two goods that making the analysis oversimplified kasi more than two goods yun. So sa totoong buhay po, yung dalawang produkto lamang sa totoong buhay, maraming produkto ang pinagpipilian ng mga consumers po. Kaya nagiging limitado ang dalawang produkto na analysis. Oo, nagiging limitation. There's a limitation. Number 2 is assumption, no? Assumption. Okay, assumption of rationality. Okay, rationality. Assumption of rationality. Kasi it assumes that consumers are always rational. Okay, consumers are always rational and have consistent preferences. They have consistent preferences. So again, yun, assumptions ng rationalidad or rational po kasi inaakala na ang lahat ng consumers po ay rational. At saka po, consistent po sila na may consistent na kagustuhan po ang assumption of rationality. Okay? Ng mga consumers. Number 3 naman is we have no cardinal measurement. So, di ba nag-explain din ako nung cardinal, ordinal, di ba? No cardinal measurement po siya. Bakit no cardinal measurement? Etong under siya, limitations of indifference curve analysis. Kasi nga, indifferent curves rely po siya on ordinal utility. Ano ang indifference curve? Nagre-rely siya sa ordinal utility. Tandaan yan ha. Ordinal utility. Okay? Utility. Utility. Yan. Yan. Dito yan. Ordinal utility. Okay. No cardinal but ordinal utility siya. Which is po, ranks yun. No? Ranks ang preferences niya. But does not quantify satisfaction by ranking. Di ba ang ordinal? Ranking yan. O, top 1, top 2. Ito yung gusto ko, top 3. Ganun. So, ordinal is yun. Ordinal utility po yung indifference curve. Not, na hindi po siya cardinal measurement. Okay? Ranggo lang ng kagustuhan ha. Pero hindi po yan ang sukatan ng satisfaction. Okay? Hindi po yan sukatan ng satisfaction. So, in summary po, the indifference curve is a powerful, ano ang indifference curve? Ay, powerful pala si indifference curve, no? Powerful tool. It is a powerful tool in economics. Kasi nga, to visualize, and yun, to visualize, powerful tool siya. Kasi to visualize, okay, visualize, ano pa? And analyze, yun, analyze, visualize, and analyze consumer choices, yun, and trade-offs between goods. So, by combining it with the budget constraints, it provides insights po into optimal consumptions, so decisions, and also the effects of economic policies. Okay? So, ano nga ulit ang indifference curve? Ito ay isang mahalagang kasangkapan sa pagsusuri ng kagustuhan ng consumer at pagpapalit ng mga produkto. So, kapag isinama ito sa budget, yung sa budget line, kaya sinabi ko kanina, di ba? Nagbibigay ito ng malinaw na pananaw na pinakamainam na desisyon ng consumer at epekto ng mga pulisiya sa kanilang kagustuhan. Yon. So, that's indifference curve. Did you understand this? Hopefully, you understand this, guys. Kasi this one will come out sa board exam. Paano na lang, pag lumabas yun sa board exam, no? Ulit, no? Sabihin nga nila, lumabas daw ito sa board exam last, 2024. So, hoping, yan, ay maintindihan ninyo ang ibig sabihin ng indifference curve. Okay, so actually I have some of the questions here. So if you are willing, you can answer some of the questions. I have prepared here 3 questions po. Okay, I prepared here 3 questions about indifference curve. Okay, so let's try. Okay, let's try our retention kung hanggang saan kaya or kung naintindihan ba talaga ang discussion. Okay, let's start first with number 1. Okay? So, what happens to the slope of the indifference curve when a consumer values both goods equally? Bumili daw ng parehas na curve. Anong daw mangyayari? What happens to the slope of the indifference curve when a consumer values binavalue na daw yung both goods equally? Ano daw yung mangyayari? A, the slope becomes vertical. B, the slope becomes horizontal. C, the slope approaches 0. D, the slope becomes constant. So, I'll give you time to answer. Sige daw, be. I will give you time to answer. Sige nga, sagutin nyo nga anong tamang sagot dyan. Okay, let's answer this question. So, again, discuss muna natin yung yung mga choices. So, let's start with letter A. Okay, the slope becomes vertical. Okay, the slope becomes vertical. A vertical po kasi slope, it means the consumer only values one good. Always remember, pag vertical po kasi, nagva-value lang yan ng customer na. Ang customer po kasi only values, they only values one good. Okay, pag vertical. So, ibig sabihin, there is an ignoring the other. Diba? So, that does not occur when both goods are equally valued. Kasi nga, isa lang yung gusto niyan. Kasi vertical yan eh. Pag vertical, ibig sabihin one good lang. Okay, so, nare-reject yung isang good. So, ang tanong kasi dito, values niya both goods equally. Parehas. Okay? So, pag horizontal naman, the slope becomes horizontal kasi horizontal slope po indicate the consumer values only one good pa rin. Kasi one good and is indifferent po siya to the other. So, which is not true. Okay, which is not true. Kasi nga, kasi vertical, one good. So, horizontal is also one good. Okay? So, hindi siya true dito sa questions natin. Letter C, we have the slope approaches 0. Okay? The slope approaching 0 means po, there is no willingness. There's no willingness pag 0, no? Pag 0, ibig sabihin, no willingness. Okay? Tandaan yan. No willingness pag 0. So, no willingness to trade on one good for other. So, meaning, nagkakaroon siya, walang willingness na nagkakaroon ng contradicts, no? Contradicts siya sa concept of equal value. Kasi contradicts siya. Ibig sabihin, contradicts sa concept of equal value. Yon. So, kaya hindi siya ang tamang sagot. So, letter D, the slope becomes constant. No? When the consumer po kasi values both goods equally, pag nag-value po sila sa dalawang both yan, ibig sabihin po, the marginal rate of substitution, or MRS, remains constant. Oo, remains constant. Kasi nga, and also the slope of indifference curve is straight. No? Kasi nga, constant. Pare-parehas. Okay? Pag constant meaning equal. Okay? Constant meaning equal. Okay? Ibig sabihin, equal yung marginal rate of substitution. It remains constant. Okay? So, kaya ang tamang sagot dito sa tanong na to is letter D. Okay? Okay, next naman tayo. Okay, sagutin nyo to. If an indifference curve is a straight line, what can be inferred about the relationship between the two goods? Okay? If an indifference curve is a straight line, what can be inferred about the relationship between two goods? Sige, sagutin nyo muna yan. Okay, let's answer the question. If an indifference curve po daw is a straight line, what can be inferred about relationship between the two goods? Okay? So, let's discuss first yung options. So, let's start first. Kanina nag-start tayo sa letter A, right? Ngayon, mag-start tayo sa letter D. Okay. So, the goods are not related. Okay? The goods are not related. Ano ibig sabihin nito? If the goods po were unrelated, they are not related, meaning the indifference curve po would not provide any meaningful trade-off relationship. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, yung indifference curve ay hindi siya magpro-provide ng ano tawag doon, no? Any meaningful trade-off. Okay? Trade-off relationships. Okay? Tandaan yan. So, dito, kailangan natin inferred about relationship. So, hindi siya ang tamang sagot. Okay? So, letter C, the consumer has diminishing utility. So, diminishing utility po kasi results in a convex, right? It results in a results in a convex curve kasi indifference curve, not a straight one. Okay? So, pag convex ang curve niya, ibig sabihin, hindi siya straight. Okay? Hindi siya straight. Bakla siya, hindi siya straight. Oo. Okay? Yun. So, ang kailangan natin curve is a straight line. Straight line ang tinatanong dito. So, hindi tamang sagot ang letter C. So, the goods are perfect complements. The goods are perfect complements. Perfect complements po have L shape. Always remember, pag perfect complements it has L shape. Dito na lang sa kabila. Sorry, dito na lang sa kabila. It has L shape. Okay? L-shape indifference curve po yan, not a straight line. Okay? Not a straight line because the goods must be consumed together in a fixed proportion. Kasi nga, ang goods can be what? Goods must be, okay, consume, no? They are consumed or, kinonsume together, okay, together in fixed proportions. Okay? Fixed proportions. L-shape siya. So, hindi siya straight line. So, hanap natin kasi straight line. So, letter A, the goods are perfect substitutes. Perfect substitute, this is a straight line in different curve. So, ito ay straight line. Ito ay straight line. Okay? Straight line in different curves po yan. Ang perfect substitute. Okay? In different curves. So, indicates po yan that the consumer is willing to substitute. Okay? It indicates that the consumer is willing to substitute one good for the other at a constant rate. So, this is characteristic po of perfect substitute. Okay? So, ang tamang sagot dito is straight line yung hanap natin and then relationship po between two goods. So, ang tamang sagot is letter A. Okay? Yan ang tamang sagot. Okay, next question tayo. Last question. How does a consumer, how does a consumer react if the price of one good increases but their income remains constant? Ano daw? How does a consumer react if the price of one good increases but their income remains constant? Sige nga, sagutin nyo nga. Ano yung tamang sagot siya? Okay, so let's answer this. How does a consumer react if the price of one good increases but their income remains constant? Okay, so let's discuss first. Okay, so we have... Okay, let's discuss first letter A. Okay, they move to a higher indifference curve. They move to a higher indifference curve. Pag sinabing they move to a higher indifference curve, meaning a higher indifference curve, pag sinabi po kasing higher indifference curve, it indicates po a higher utility. Okay? Higher indifference curve. Diba kanina sinabi ko, pag higher curve, higher utility din. Diba sinabi ko kanina. So, which is not possible po, okay? Which is not possible when the price is increases while income remains constant. Kasi nga, income is constant. The price of one good is increases. So, dapat ang income din ay tumataas. No? So, ibig sabihin hindi siya ang tamang sagot. Now, let's proceed to letter D. They increase consumption of both goods. Okay? They increase consumption of both goods. So, ano ibig sabihin nito? Increasing consumption po kasi of both goods is not possible po without an increase in income or a decrease in prices. Kasi ang income natin dito is constant. So, kung nag-increase ka ng both goods, dapat tumataas din po yung income mo. Oo. Okay? So, hindi siya possible. This one is not possible. Okay? Not possible. This one is not possible. Okay? Without an increase in income or a decrease in prices. Kasi dito, mataas kasi mataas po kasi ang price ng one good. Okay? So now let's check letter C. They remain on the same indifference curve. Okay? Remaining on the same indifference curve would imply that the consumer's utility has not changed. Okay? Kasi nga, the same yun eh. So, ibig sabihin, hindi nag-change yung consumer's utility. Okay? Ano yan? Consumers, okay, dito na lang natin sa baba ilagay. Okay? Consumers utility, okay, has not changed. Okay, has not changed. Okay, has not changed, which is unlikely when purchasing power decreases. Okay, so huwag na natin tindihan yun. Basta yun, stays, no, sorry. Okay, so yun guys. So remaining on the same indifference curve would imply po kasi that the consumer's utility has not changed. Okay, has not changed. So meaning which is unlikely when purchasing power decreases. Okay, so letter B, they shift to a lower indifference curve. Bakit? When the price of good increases, the consumer's income stays the same. Kasi the purchasing power decreases. Kasi it's leading to a lower utility and a move to a lower indifference curve. Kasi nga, consistent lang kasi yung income ng consumer. So the price of good increases, okay? And also the consumer's income, okay? Consumer's income, okay, income is the same, okay? The same. So the purchasing power, so yung purchasing power or purchasing power parity na sinasabi natin or PPP, no, decreases kasi nga it leads to a lower utility. Okay, this one po will lead to lower utility kasi walang kakayahang bumili kasi nga the same pa rin yung income niya, hindi siya tumaas, hindi siya bumaba. So it leading to lower utility and it will move, no, it and a move to a lower indifference curve. So it is a move to a lower, so move yan siya into a lower indifference curve. So the correct answer to this question is letter B. They shift to a lower indifference curve. Okay? So, yan ang tamang sagot. Hopefully, you got, ilan ang score ninyo? I want to see your scores in the comment section below. So, if you got like 1/3 ang nakuha ninyo, so you need to rewatch this video, this class, para po maintindihan ninyo. So, if you got 2, you need to rewatch. If you got perfect, you don't need to rewatch na because you already understand the indifference curve. Okay, so this type of question po na binigay ko sa inyo, questions pala, 3 questions na to, this is in understanding level. Understanding level pa lang po tayo, wala pa tayo sa application level. Understanding level lang po ito, kung naintindihan ba talaga ang klase ni sir sa indifference curve. Okay? Did you understand, guys? Hopefully, did you understand it? And I hope that you learn a lot to this discussion. And again, do not forget, okay, to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also to like this video, share this video guys, and to follow us on our Facebook account, Facebook page, sorry. So again, you can invite friends, you can ask your friends, no, to join us. If you want also guys, ganito po talaga, this is just a sample po of my lecture. Ganito po nagle-lecture si sir sa regular session po. Ganito po talaga mag-lecture si sir, na nag-improve na po si sir, meron na pong development because there's updated technological advances. Charot! So, yun guys, ganito na po mag-discuss si sir ngayon kasi meron na po tayong pen and conveniently, kaya ko na po mag-discuss ng maganda ngayon. Okay, so, again guys, so mas maganda yung ganun, no? Yung punong-puno talaga yung discussion kasi maintindihan talaga yung mga yung principles talaga ng isang topic. So hopefully guys, naintindihan ninyo. If you don't understand this, you can go back to the video po and rewatch it again. Okay? Para po mas maintindihan. Again, if you want more this, if you want mga videos na ganito more, enroll po kayo sa Agricola PH para po mas marami pa po kayong matutunan kay sir. Okay? Mas marami pa kayong matutunan with me. Okay? So, again, do not forget, no, you can message me on my Facebook page and reserve your slot. And then, pag-uusapan natin yung about sa inyong payment details. Okay? So, thank you very much, everyone. Kamsahamnida. Anyong hegazeyo, everyone. And I hope that you, yun, maintindihan nyo, ilalove nyo rin sa economics. Okay? Kasi yan po mabibigay sa inyo ng magandang scores. Oo. Hindi natin alam by next year is madali na lang ang economics. Okay, so I will be discussing more of economics siguro by soon. But at least nagbigay ako sa inyo po ng sample kung paano po nagdi-discuss si sir sa private class or regular session. So thank you very much everyone. Kamsahamnida and enjoy the rest of the day. Bye-bye!